saving the Thor not once but twice from roaches that were very, very, very close to killing it. He's actually spawning a mule over here to fix the Thor. So ThorZaIN is doing everything for his Thors in this game, giving them the full pampering spa day treatment, lifting them from the acidic roach's fire, and then spending 50 energy on a mule just to fix that one Thor. We see the Zerg coming back in with Zerglings, Banelings, and Roaches and Queens taking out that force right there. This Thor will lose its life, but this Thor is doing everything it can. Will get taken out. This Thor, it does look like will eventually fall, so it had a great life before it eventually did die. This medevac so sad it couldn't save that Thor a third time. These siege tanks back here trying to hold the line. Mutalisks overhead will be able to take them out rapidly. This one SCV so confused, has minerals in its hand but has nowhere to go, just trying to stay alive. We see the Zerg player. Oh my goodness, so much carnage right there. Look at the blood. Thor's, I don't even think Thor should bleed, but they did apparently bleed. No, actually, that was a Zerg player. Blood. But blood everywhere. We see medevacs flying overhead, getting hit by Queens a little bit right there. Woo! I'm going to take a breath real fast, take a drink of water, just admiring that extremely, extremely sexy play on ThorZaIN's part. Woo! Alright. At any rate, whew, adrenaline rush. It doesn't even begin to sum it up. We see a drop on ThorZaIN's part. This medevac very, very low on health, but does have 8 Marines inside it. Probably going to drop them and let them do their thing. Going to drop them right here. Possibly didn't get seen by that creep, but might have been spotted. We'll have to wait and see. These 8 Marines coming out of the medevac, and shortly will be sent to attack, stimming and running in, and they will be sprinting towards this drone line, and we'll get a lot of damage done before the Queen is able to do anything about this. These drones just mining with not a care in the world. More drones transferring, but along with a bunch of Zerglings and Mutalisks will clean this drop up. He was able to take out a bunch of drones right there, 6 or 7 I believe. He's up to 21 workers killed right now, so a very cost-effective drop right there. Sacrificing 8 Marines along with a medevac to take out about that many drones. We see a bunch of medevacs loading up with Thors and tanks and Marines. Actually, there aren't any Thors right now because that would take the entire medevac. But tanks and Marines in these medevacs. Going to be elevatoring them up to the Zerg players' natural. These Queens are so mad. That one is dead and the other one is too. So they went from angry to splatters of blood. These tanks are sieged up on the high ground, taking everything out right now. Oh my goodness, that drop away was perfect. He distracted the Zerg by moving units up here to harass. Meanwhile, in the middle, the Zerg player is taking out every unit that was streaming in to reinforce, going to be abandoning his natural, it looks like, to base trade, going to be attacking instead of defending. We see another base going up here for our Terran player, but it looks like these Mutalisks will be flying in along with Zerglings to take out everything they can see. The production facilities are in danger of going down. This one barracks does manage to turn out one last Marine, but will get taken out. That Marine is such in danger too. Marines trying to fan out and do everything they can, but the Zerglings and Mutalisks are swarming in. This Thor doesn't know what to do except for get killed off, so unfortunate for him. This Ghost Academy just chilling here, trying to stay alive. We see a lot of damage being done by the Zerg player. Meanwhile, let's watch over here. There is a Broodlord on the field for our Zerg player, able to make these tanks leave. In fact, ThorZaIN is still losing units and buildings to these Mutalisks, flocking overhead and attacking supply depots and barracks. Basically free to rain down their little blasts on everything they see. These siege tanks will get intercepted and taken out by roaches. Oh my goodness, so much action happening in this game right now. Let's check on this command center. It is morphing into an orbital actually, so an orbital command being set up at that base for our Terran player. Not the safest choice, very, very risky I would say, but we'll see how that works out. His barracks is churning out one final Marine, and then it does get taken out right away after that. I'm not even sure if that Marine made it out of the barracks yard before it got killed by these Mutalisks and roaches. More Vikings and Thors and Marines going to be able to repel that assault finally, but a lot of damage done by mouzThorZaIN. Let's look at the units and resources lost tab. Holy resources lost, 24,000 for our Zerg player to go along with 22,000 for our Terran player. We saw a little bit of a skirmish right there, but it will get cleaned up on the Zerg's part. Workers lost tab, only 3 killed by mouzThorZaIN, but a whopping 24 by ThorZaIN. So damage has been done by both players so far. We see cloaking happening for Ghosts right now, yes. This orbital being forced to lift off and fly away. There are Mutalisks just free to attack it as it goes. Maybe, no, they will choose to leave it alone and allow that orbital to fly away and live another day. The Zerg player is streaming into the middle with just a plethora. Let's see just how many. He has 9 roaches to go along with. If I can click any, it's 24 plus another 8, so 32 Zerglings to go along with, I think, 6 Mutalisks, maybe 4, not quite sure. The Roaches and Mutalisks kind of blending right there. They will be streaming into the Terran player's base, able to walk in pretty much unopposed. This Ghost Academy is about 3/4 of the way down cloaking, but Zerglings will be running straight past it into the main to attack the tech lab on the factory, going to set up Thor and Siege Tank production from there, setting it on fire, able to take out that building right there, able to do a lot of damage right now. The Terran player is not defending this. His units are way out of position, actually attacking the Zerg player. It looks like his units are on the Zerg player's base, taking out the main hatchery, which I believe was up to a lair right there. moMaN is supply blocked right now. Meanwhile, there's still the attack happening in moMaN's base, so this might be a base race scenario as both players are on the offensive with their own main bases heavily under fire. Looking at the Terran, well, the Zerg side of the map, where the Terran army is, taking out the natural expansion hatchery as well. That just went down. The command center here has been lost as well. These buildings all lifting off and flying away, because of course when you're Terran you can do that. Going to be trying to escape these roaches. Unfortunately, this refinery can't lift off and it is taken out. Meanwhile, at the Zerg player's base, the natural is all but cleaned up. Only extracted remaining right there, so it was thoroughly mopped up. Roaches going to town on supply depots. ThorZaIN is losing them like it's going out of style. Now 118 out of 111. So ThorZaIN is really far behind in the supply count. It's 193 for the Zerg to 116 for our Terran player. Still dropping, it seems. This Ghost Academy is going to be taken out as it cannot lift off and fly away. So sad about that. It's set on fire and now it will right now get collapsed in heaps of rubble. These Vikings just chilling overhead, satisfied to, rather than help in the fight, just basically not die, as the Terran army is flying back into the picture 2 bases later, as the Terran has lost everything from his main to his secondary. Going to be trying to catch up to these roaches, but they're running away. The units being dropped off right here. Tanks and Marines, so sad that their home is completely desecrated. The Zerg forces have destroyed what was left of their home. Those forces taken out in very short order, as the Zerg army is still massed up in one giant ball of acidic and Zergling claw and just everything they do to make everything that comes at them suffer. A flock of Broodlords overhead, that is 9 Broodlords, so ThorZaIN is in some serious trouble right now. Ghosts cloaking and trying to do everything they can. They will be sniping these Broodlords quite effectively, but it does look like the Zerg player just flooded this planetary. Look at all the action right now. One side has SCVs repairing like crazy, one side has Zerglings attacking like crazy, while overhead there are Mutalisks now diverting their attention onto the SCVs who were repairing. Meanwhile, Broodlords in the back attacking all the while and getting sniped by Ghost. I'm not sure if moMaN understands what's happening right now, as his Broodlords were all taken out by cloaked Ghosts. Vikings doing their job as well, attacking the Broodlords and Mutalisks. We have Roaches right here just basically free to attack anything they want to, because of course medevacs cannot fight them. SCVs successfully keeping this planetary alive, so there is still hope for our Terran player. There is still this base along with this base and this base up here, which has become his new main. Look at SimCity being played by ThorZaIN right now, landing all of those production facilities from the original main and now into this new main. Hang on, look at the minimap right now. We're going to watch this engagement happening right here, but just look at the minimap. These players spawned ThorZaIN here, moMaN here, and now they both migrated north into the other 2 main base spawning locations. A lovely game happening right now, pretty much everything being razed to the ground as players are forced to evacuate their original mains in favor of a new main at a different spawn location. So now these players are both on 3 bases still, it looks like, while this Orbital Command is once again forced to leave. We have a 3-base Terran against a 3-base Zerg, as all of them still have full resource patches to be mined from. This is just, it seems, the Overlord gathering place. Going to be having a party by themselves there, as we see the Orbital Command now landing at the 4th base for mouzThorZaIN, getting some SCVs queued up. Going to be trying to populate that and saturate it so it can get some more income. Looking at the income tab right now, we see 66 Harvesters for our Zerg, while we have 50 for ThorZaIN the Terran. And moMaN is quite a bit ahead, about 500 in the minerals, but they are even in the gas count right now. SCVs transferring over to the 4th base of ThorZaIN, going to be trying to boost that economy up a bit. We have somewhat fully loaded medevacs right here, loaded with, it looks like, Marines and tanks right now. Going to be trying to drop that in the new Zerg main, it looks like. Going to be dropping maybe in a little bit, now going to go the rest of the way. Meanwhile, we see Zerg forces coming right here into the 4th base, going to probably make this lift off again. Oh my goodness, Mule City right now, going to be forced to evacuate, not doing very much out of those mules. Meanwhile, we have the Marine and it looks like Ghost Drop, actually. Those weren't tanks, those were ghosts. I don't know why they're called those tanks. We have 8 ghosts going to town right now on the Zerg player's base. These roaches are forced to leave. Back at the Zerg player's base, we have ghosts doing a ton of damage along with Marines, taking out everything they see. This hatchery, which is actually turning into a lair right now, will be taken out, it looks like, as there's nothing in the way of defense. The Zerg player is trying to stream his roaches back, but will not get there in time to save this lair from going down. And there it is, exploding in a massive, massive fountain of guts. Units loading back into the medevacs, laughing all the way home at these roaches who cannot attack air and who cannot do anything. These queens too slow to arrive on the scene. 5 queens would have been able to probably take out a couple medevacs, but did not get there in time. Meanwhile, this base right here is still operational. Planetary behind some supply depot mini walls, so nicely done right there by ThorZaIN. Meanwhile, the drop has been moved to another base of the Zerg. These queens trying everything they can, and now the roaches have arrived on the scene, forcing the units to get back to the medevacs. We have, oh my goodness, Mutalisks trying to get there in time, but we will drop some ghosts, taking out the Mutalisks as they chase the Marines. Excellent control from ThorZaIN. Oh my goodness, nerd shells going up and down my spine. That was great play right there, knowing the Mutalisks were chasing him, dropping the units down so they could take the Mutalisks out, while all the medevacs did indeed stay alive. So very, very well done. Look at the APM tab right now. We see about 150 for both players. Another engagement might be happening right here. Mutalisks going to be flocking around the high ground, also spotting it for the Zerg player. We have a lot of the units on the Terran player's army getting killed. That one ghost falling in one final blaze of glory, taking out the Mutalisks. So well done right there by the Terran player. But his army is reduced to 1 ghost along with 3 Marines, 5 medevacs ahead, overhead, rather, is the word I'm looking for. Never great when you have more medevacs than you do ground forces for them to heal. This hatchery just now about to, oh wait, the roaches have streamed in, are now going to repel the assault before the Terrans can kill that hatchery, able to take it to about 1/3 of its normal health. Meanwhile, more siege tanks have established their position down here near the Zerg players, I don't know what to even call that, second base, third base, one of the Zerg players' bases. I'll just kind of point at it and say this base, because I don't even know what order these bases got established, as they are nowhere near in order anymore in terms of first, second, third. We have queens, roaches, and Mutalisks trying to take out this established siege tank line. Will they be able to do it? We have ghosts. Oh my goodness, a whole battalion of ghosts taking out the mutas overhead and also sniping the roaches. 8 ghosts doing very effective work right now. Do we have any nukes right now for our Terran player? I'm not even sure if the Ghost Academy still exists. It probably does if he's still making more ghosts. Trying to find that right now as we see those ghosts still doing damage. Show me a Ghost Academy, and there it is. Do we have any nukes? No nukes yet, but possibly on the way. We see, oh my goodness, so many drones! That's more than 24 drones running into the siege tanks, making them do splash damage to themselves, and also running at these ghosts. Drones have never looked so scary, causing splash damage to the siege tanks, and also attacking ghosts. But we have a primarily ghost army right now for our Terran player, mouzThorZaIN. He actually has 14 ghosts on the field right now to go along with 2 Vikings, 7 tanks, and 4 medevacs. So he has completely abandoned Marine production in favor of the, well, very strong ghost. And this spire looks like, oh, Baneling Nest. Why did I call that a spire? That Baneling Nest does go down. We haven't seen Banelings in a while, so it's not the greatest loss. Oh, just as I say that, we have Banelings morphing in, rallying together. We have 7 Banelings running in and going to maybe dead. Oh, they can't see the ghosts, but they do manually detonate and take it. Oh, wow. Doing very nice damage to ghosts right there, because of course, even if you can't see the ghosts because they are cloaked, you can manually explode the Baneling, and if the ghost happens to be in the radius of that explosion, it will get hurt. So we see about half of the ghosts right there did get taken out by very nice Baneling play, but it just isn't enough as moMaN, look at the supply count right now, losing by about 100. moMaN does GG out of this game. Oh my goodness, I can't even begin to recap everything we saw. Just in the last 10 or so minutes alone, we had a bunch of drops happening by ThorZaIN, able to do a ton of damage, take out hatchery right here, and also take out this hatchery right here eventually. And I guess moMaN just didn't have the staying power that ThorZaIN had. Once again, these players spawned ThorZaIN here, and his counterpart moMaN right here, and both of those bases completely annihilated off of the face of the map, and also both of the naturals got taken out as well. The only thing left at the Zerg's natural is 2 extractors and 1 creep tumor, while there is absolutely nothing at the Terran player's natural. So wow, an incredibly awesome game right there. I loved that game. Oh my, too many things to even recap right now. Just leave it at ThorZaIN was able to come back from 1-0 in this best of 3 and tie it up at 1 each. forcing that game 3, which I will go to right now. I will see you guys there.